Colby mentioned that this is your 30th season, so congratulations. What are you looking to improve upon the most? I mean, you already have a couple records, you have a couple more in sight. Just for you, what are you looking to improve upon this year?
I mean, there's so much. It's a game that just requires improvement all the time in all aspects. But this year, I really want to really focus on how we handle the postseason. I know it's so far away and how that goes, but I think that's one of the big, things under the microscope is how we're going to handle postseason play and how we can, starts with day one, take off running and really never slow down.
Yeah, how do you hone that mindset then over the next few months?
I mean, honestly, it's just I got to give credit to what we've been doing since day one in the fall. It's taking it one day at a time. It's really just controlling what you can control and, focusing on winning each pitch at each time.
Would you say that's part of the reason you're back? I mean, back-to-back regional appearances, yet to get to a super. Did that light a fire under you?
Yeah, it's definitely a bad taste in the mouth for sure. 2 years in a row just ending like that. And, like I've been telling so many of these new guys is once you get that experience and that taste of postseason play, it's like, it's addictive. You want to keep going. You want to see what it's like at the next step and, eventually Omaha and see what that's like. And, I think that's just constantly going through our heads each day at a time.
The makeup of this team is so interesting. You've got so many proven bats and then some real youth on the mound.
Yeah.
Just how would you describe kind of the way those two elements of the game kind of complement each other?
It's, like you said, it's two really, really different polar opposites, I would say, from our hitting and our pitching. The one thing in common is the character. I think, both sides of the ball have the passion to win, the passion to compete. And, I'm really excited to see what these newcomers, can kind of do on the mound and kind of, take away from an offense that might be a little bit more experienced.
In scrimmages, you've been hitting second a lot. Just is that the idea of what's going to happen this season? And if so, what's it like having Riku in front of you?
Yeah. Oh, man. Game changing. That guy, just for probably the 20 inter-squad games I've had to be able to play with him it's awesome to see that kind of game. Especially in a Duck uniform is something special. It's something that's, really rare and something we've never had before. So being able to watch him and kind of play behind him and like you said, hitting behind him is awesome too. Just being able to watch, be able to pay attention to an at-bat in front of me. It's so cool. It's so awesome.
We've got a few guys from different countries on this roster. Waz was talking about it too. What's that like in terms of the personalities meshing, but also maybe styles of play being a little different too?
Right. No, that's a great question. I think it's so brand new. We've never had a locker room, with people from a different country. And so now, having that kind of diversity in the locker room, it's so cool seeing, everybody obviously has a different kind of background and a different kind of, way they came about the game. But seeing how it came from, overseas is really cool. It's honestly been a blessing for sure.
How does that presence, if at all, change your approach? Because if the leadoff hitter is getting on and he can a threat to steal.
Right.
It's different than when you're the leadoff hitter and you might be much more willing to swing the first pitch versus now you're taking pitches and trying to allow him to do his thing or get ahead in counts and work counts and do things. It's just different.
It is. You're absolutely right. It's a whole different approach. I'm not going to give away too much of my secrets here, but hitting behind him, that teams are going to worry about stealing. They're going to worry about the stolen base factor coming in the game, and he's going to do a lot of it. And I think that might, change, how they're going to pitch guys that are hitting after him and him being on base so much. It's going to change the game for sure.
We joked about it being year 30 for you, but just how much do you see guys looking to you at this point and kind of, obviously your experience helps you out a lot, but I assume it's a resource for your teammates as well.
Right. Yeah, no, I think, experience is such a big factor, especially with a team that's, got a bunch of youth, like you said earlier. And, I just try to do my best each day to help that experience, help them, to where eventually they're, they have it down themselves. It's like Coach Horton used to always say, it's, after game one, you're not a freshman anymore. It's just your toes are in and you're ready to go. And, that's what I'm really hoping out of this youth is, once the ball gets rolling here, they can just take off running.
Are you proud of your evolution as a power hitter to go from a guy who, is happy to see one go out of the ballpark to,
right.
hitting a ton?
Yeah, no, a little bit. credit to Daryl and credit to them bringing the fences in maybe a little bit might help as well. But yeah, definitely it's, you know, some, like Colby might have said in his head, probably the old man strength is definitely starting to come in. So yeah, it's definitely a proud feeling for sure.
What have you seen this spring from Owen Dias, an Alabama transfer coming in, getting his feet wet out here?
Yeah, huge factor. Unbelievable player. You know, it's a rare bat. He's a talented player, and he can really swing it. And, you know, honestly, where I've seen the most growth out of Owen is probably defensively. I think he really came in and embraced Waz, coaching the outfielders, embraced how Waz wants the game to be played from a defensive aspect, and he's really excelled defensively. And, you know, I'm really excited to see the year he's going to have. It's going to be awesome.